time, we talked about critical thinking and concepts. Today, we want to talk about critical thinking and judgments. But first, we may need to clear a roadblock to good thinking. Did you know there's a difference between what we call judging and making judgments? We tend to think judging is bad. Judging is making claims, perhaps unfounded claims based on our biases about other people, maybe things that are based on insufficient observation, like stereotyping. So judging is something bad, and we can feel judged sometimes too, right? Perhaps you've been wondering, am I judging you in some of these videos? I'm not judging you. I love you. Remember, I'm seeking the good for you. So judging is not good, but that's different than judgments and making a judgment in philosophy. So remember, we were talking about critical thinking. So critical thinking and judgments. Judgments are the second act of the understanding, according to Aristotle. And in judgments, we put two concepts together. X is Y. Thinking is good, or thinking is not good. Those are both judgments, and judgments are either true or false. So we're looking for truth at the level of judgment. So if we use critical thinking on the level of concepts, and we're looking for meaningful concepts, and we put two meaningful concepts together with is or is not, we can find truth. Okay, and truth is something we desire, right? So, what are judgments, and how do we use critical thinking? We need to understand the meaning of the words that we use, and when we put them together, it becomes more complex. So we really need to agree with one another on the meaning of terms. Justice is no easy ideal. Okay, that's another judgment, and we can test it. So critical thinking tests judgments, and judgments, we said, are either true or false, but how do we know if it's true or false? We have to support things with reasons, and we do that with an argument. So arguments are the third act of the understanding. And in an argument, we put premises together with a conclusion. I think I gave you one last time about if you think well, then you will be happy. And you have to think well, and if you do, then you'll be happy. Something like that. Premise, conclusion. If matter is eternal, then it would be self-maintaining. Matter is not self-maintaining, so it's not eternal. See, now there's one that gets you thinking about metaphysics. So arguments can be tested, just like judgments and concepts can be tested, and the way to test an argument is according to its validity, is it in good form, and its soundness. And a sound argument is where it's in good form and the premises are true. And this gives us knowledge. So judgments get us to the level of truth, and arguments get us to the level of knowledge. And arguments are rare. I tell students I'm paying money for arguments. I collect them like baseball cards. And I have them always stored in my memory. So what can you get from critical thinking? You can get meaning from forming good concepts. You can get truth from forming judgments that accord with reality. And you can get knowledge by supporting those judgments with an argument and putting them together in a form that brings us to conclusions that are true and accord with reality and give us something that we can hold on to. And if someone asks us why, we can give those reasons back to them. So we exchange arguments. And an argument is not the same thing as arguing or bickering. So sometimes people get nervous about arguments too, like they get nervous about judgments. So we made the distinction between judging and judgments. We made the distinction between arguments and arguing. And arguing, I mean bickering. And those things are negatives to be avoided. Judging and arguing versus judgments, the second act of the mind, and arguments, the third act of the mind. These are things we should desire. So what can critical thinking or thinking well get you? Meaning, truth, knowledge. And later on down the line, we want understanding and wisdom. Remember, philosophy is about the love of wisdom. So I think these are valuable things, and that's why you should love thinking, and that's why we should learn to think critically and to think well. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day.